I am going to share some tips about how to translate using Crowdin. This is a file that I opened up in Crowdin. The left-hand side shows me a preview of the file. The right is going to be the area where I am going to type my translation, right here. You can see that I can see the source on the top, and then at the bottom, I can also see suggestions, in this case, from a machine translation, and also from other languages in case that they exist. For example, here I can see that, there's something for Japanese. There is color coding on the file preview. The green means something that has already been translated. The yellow is the segment that is currently in progress. You can see that this is the same that is here in the source. And the pink is text that still needs translation. In this view, you can see that I am seeing the Spanish and also the English source, but it's also possible to use this button here. I can click it, and then all the file now is in English. I can also filter if I am only interested in seeing the segments that need translation by clicking here. And then here I can filter. In this case, I'm seeing everything that is untranslated. So this would make it very easy for me to simply translate things that have never been translated on this file. So in this particular example, there are some things like file paths that need to stay in English. The best way to do that is to use the copy button. So what I'm going to do is if I click this, it's going to be copying the source into the target. This is very useful because it's going to be preserving the same spacing as the source. This is another good example. Now I have moved into the next segment that needs translation. If you want to see what the translation is of a specific term, these items here that show these underline are part of the glossary. You can also use machine translation. So for example, let's say that I wanted to use the machine translation and then I can edit it. So you would add this here and then you would start reading it and updating it to be the way that you want it and then clicking save. Another useful feature is to go back and to see what has been approved. You can tell that everything that has been approved, which means basically the second review, has a check mark. And we can also see these in the other view where we can see the color coding. So things that have been translated and approved are going to be in this darker green. And in comparison, things that have only been translated are in a light green. Let's try to find a link. For example, here. If you are translating a sentence that has a link, you have to be careful of all of these codes that appear around it and that you don't accidentally delete something. So the easiest way to preserve all of these text is by using the copy button and then by typing over it. After you have completed a translation, you should always click save to save it. It's also possible to send questions to me. You can add them here where it says new comments, and you can also add mention me. Oh, I think the problem is I cannot add mention myself. But you can see here that if you start typing a name, it comes up here, and then you should be able to contact me.